Like and subscribe right now, or else this will be in your bed tonight. r/AskReddit by Planet Reddit. What was ruined because too many people started doing it? Retail Me Not and other coupon sites. Used to be a surefire way to save money while shopping. Nowadays I can't remember the last time I found a useful coupon code online. That's if you actually find coupon codes. They're all just a list of the site's sales. You mean you don't want a promo code for a free box of Argyle sweaters that only fit iguanas when you make a purchase of at least $500? Stargazing. We went to the middle of nowhere, Utah. With no light pollution. Recommended by my uncle for stargazing. We get there and across the street from the national park is a strip mall with a brightly lit parking lot and a giant neon sign. Welcoming the annual stargazing convention. So much for zero light pollution. I find this hilariously sad. There was a vending machine in my dorm room that would kick out 2 sprites if you hit the button just right. It lasted about 6 months for a couple of us. Then one loose lip lead to another and they fixed the machine. Loose lips steal sips. Same at my college. The pricing was broken and instead of $2 the sodas cost $1.25 if you used Apple Pay. They fixed it recently. I go to UCSC. There's a cave system on campus that has some pretty neat natural stuff. Unfortunately it's also a place where parties and smoking happen. It's full of trash and perpetually smells like weed now, which is a shame since it's a pretty delicate ecosystem with a species of spider that only lives in those caves apparently. Not to mention the really interesting rock formations that have also been destroyed by people. Light-hearted discussion of conspiracy theories. Outdoor life in Colorado. Are you a hiker? Well, all these free trails are now facing permit reform cause people keep getting on the goddamn log at Hanging Lake. Or decorating the balanced rocks. Do you wanna go wheeling in your truck? Well, the trails you love are now permanently closed cause people keep going off trail and ruining the vegetation animal habitats. No more twin cone for you. Were you planning on shooting at camp? Too bad. People keep blasting computer monitors and not employing basic safety measures. So that's off limits now too. This. Our favorite lake spot just got shut down cause some a-hole broke about 1,000 beer bottles over the rocks and left it. Also, jeeping used to be a way to get way out in the middle of ducking nowhere in the quiet. Now it's lines of those dumb little go-kart things racing up and down the mountain. It's scary. My rig is built from the ground up. And it can't do 40 down the mountain. So they fly around me calling me an a-hole. I was here years before you. Learn the rules and some manners or gtfo. Those UTVs are destroying all the dirt roads here in AZ also. They all want to be a race car driver flying down the road building berms around every corner. I hate those things. Rule 1. Never share a hidden gem. Not with a friend. Or family member. Hell, maybe not even your dog who you think can keep a secret. At work I have a hidden bathroom. It's on a floor of the building that shuts down at 3 PM. I happen to know the elevator code being IT and all and I work 1 PM to 9 PM usually. That means any shit I have to take I get a whole building floor to shit in. In peace in a super clean luxury bathroom. At work I have a hidden bathroom. It's on a floor of the building that shuts down at 3 PM. Then why telling any of us about it? Who knows, your co-worker might be lurking around here. To my co-worker possibly reading this. Get bucked, mate. LLB return policy and lifetime warranty on things that gets abused. This was the one I was looking for. Truly a shame people had to get that greedy. I mean, I know Reddit is a lot of people and I'm not singling you out at all. But the life hack of buying LLB stuff at garage sales and flipping it with the company for new shit was a staple of those AskReddit threads. So it's not surprising really. I live in an apartment complex right next to a university. I'm originally from a more rural area, where we frequently had bonfires. My apartment complex has a little fire pit. So I bought some firewood for a taste of home. Every few weeks, I had a few people over and we had a small fire. It was cool. Nobody was rowdy. We only burned wood. And we always cleaned up after ourselves. My neighbors eventually caught onto the fun and started having their own fires. Over time, the fire pit grew in popularity until someone was having a fire just about every weekend. Trash was being left all over the place. Beer bottles were tossed into the ashes. And noise became an issue. It escalated to the point that college students were coming over from their dorms, throwing decent sized parties, and even burning furniture. The police were called one too many times. And now the fire pit is filled in. I still live in a rural desert area and those same kind of a-holes are ruining all the fun things to do out in the open desert. There's state land and national forest areas for off-roading, camping, hiking, and previously target shooting. I volunteer for the US Forest Service and go out whenever I can and clean up the massive amounts of garbage that these wonderful people have no problem tainting the beautiful land with. And it's a depressing, infuriating, never-ending job because it only gets worse. And every year the Forest Service takes away more and more privileges. First to go was shooting because people don't have the decency to pick up their brass. And instead of shooting paper or metal targets, they thought bringing out their old TVs and washing machines dryers for targets was a good idea and would just leave them out there when they were done. Then there's the people who think the area is their own free personal dump and leave truckloads of shit like mattresses, couches, full rooms of torn out carpet, etc. Then the dumbass kids who go there at night to get drunk and leave trash everywhere, shoot trees and cactus, and burn the mattresses, couches. Even a couple abandoned vehicles were burned. Then there's the ones who just go there to off-road but can't read the access closed signs on some of the trails, or they will cut the barbed wire fencing that the Forest Service puts up and just make their own trails. It's sad when people are so self-absorbed they just treat the world like their own personal playground. And I get that rules can suck sometimes, but they don't get that by blatantly saying duck the rules they will only cause more stricter rules to be put in place, and eventually no one will be allowed to enjoy anything. Out here the Forest Service can't afford to employ enough forest rangers to patrol these huge areas all the time, so they just remove privileges one by one, which hurts the respectful, rule following crowd the most. To me, this is the most depressing comment here. Sorry for your loss. Flying at early hours and SAPRA check. There's times where at 6 to 7 AM the pre-check line is longer than the normal line. Flying in general, a significant percentage of people have no idea how to behave in a confined space with others around. How about the people who run up and crowd the gate the minute the agent announces that they're going to start boarding, even though they're going to be the last ones to board? Or the ones that try to board before their zone is called, thinking the agent will just let them on? I can deal with a long security line, but this pisses me off more than anything. Maya Bay in Thailand. Location of the set of the movie The Beach. Now closed to tourists due to environmental concerns. 5,000 people a day attempt to visit it. The irony is the movie is about a haven that nobody knows about. People are the worst. TheGuardian.com link. It's like all the people that have died trying to find a van from Into the Wild. Absolutely no idea the point of the story. Antibiotics. They were supposed to be the ultimate cure for bacterial infections, even though researchers were trying to warn everybody not to overuse them from day one. People did. Many started to take even the strongest ones like candy or gave them to animals for no reason. And now we have antibiotic resistant bacteria, and we're looking at the possibility of a new population decimating plague. Interestingly enough, some researchers at Yale have had some excellent success with a combination phage virus that targets a bacteria antibiotic treatment. Phages largely have the same problem as antibiotics. Use them enough and the bacteria will become resistant. But if you find a phage that exploits the bacteria's mechanism for antibiotic resistance and administer it alongside an antibiotic, you eliminate both issues. Any bacterium that are resistant to the antibiotic get killed off by the phage, and any bacterium that evolved to be resistant to the phage have to do so by abandoning the mechanism that makes them resistant to antibiotics. Win-win. Edit. For those interested, here's an article on Ars Technica. Driving. Can't get anywhere with this traffic now. There's just too many damn people. When I was at school, the shop across the road from the bus stop I got off of to go home had a small hot food section. Things like sausage rolls, pasties and burgers all cooked that day. By the time I got off the bus they gave this stuff away for free as it was deemed past its best. For months I went in, had a nice chat with the staff and got something if there was something left. This was until my brother saw me eating a sausage roll and I told him, "Do not under any circumstances tell people about this." Well, 1 week later they had to stop doing it as my brother had told ducking everyone and 30 people a day charged into this tiny shop begging for free stuff. Edit. Just to clarify, my brother is an a-hole but not overly malicious. Certainly no more so that I am to him. Is your brother stupid or did he want to sabotage you? Some people just have really ducking big mouths and verbalize every goddamn thing that occupies space in their tiny little brains. Buying storage auctions. I've bought them for 25 years. It used to be that you could buy them for a reasonable price. You might even make a little. After the popular TV shows, there are too many people thinking that every locker will have hidden cash or jewelry. It is rare that you find something hidden of great value. I've quit buying them until the craze dies down. My family has a self-storage business and those shows have been great for us. Before, units wouldn't sell at auction and we'd have to pay someone to clean them out. Now we get hundreds of dollars for complete junk. There's a reason people don't come back for their stuff. It's not worth anything. Or they died. I grew up on a small lake. Just long enough for a slalom course and slightly less wide. It is off the main road so not too many weekend warriors knew about it, until people started talking about how amazing, secluded and calm it was. Then, any decent weekend, the amount of weekend warriors would outweigh the people who lived there. With 4-6 boats zooming around it quickly became a wave pool. If people interested in water sports asked me where I boated, I told them the other nearby water mass. There was this secret man-made waterfall in my hometown and it was pretty unknown. I brought a friend there, showed her how to get around the fences and pretty soon she brought everyone she knew there. They started destroying shit, leaving trash. Now it has a higher and more secure fence. We have a famous jumping bridge where I live that no one besides locals ever knew about. Now it has its own page on TripAdvisor for popular tourist spots. Completely ruined. The internet killed local stuff. Flying RC aircraft. When it was a small hobby no one gave a shit and we policed ourselves. Now everyone and their mom can fly drones and we have all kinds of laws because of their stupidity. I'm gonna go back to flying a kite. Or as a post the other day put it, a hipster drone. Hiking at a certain state park near me. Trash everywhere. Trail eroded. Switchbacks ignored, greenery trampled. Dog shit everywhere. Now I don't tell anyone where the good trails are. There is a greenway near my house in the city. There is one spot I discovered recently where people leave their dog shit filled bags. Like they actually picked up the shit, but were too lazy to walk it to a trash can. So they tossed it into the woods. I guess it became the spot to do that. Because there were shit bags hanging from branches all over the area. People just walking by and slinging it into the woods. That is the absolute worst option. Either pick up the shit and throw it away or don't pick it up and let it dissolve, although that's still not courteous. And you better pick it up if your dog's has worms. But now it's in a bag that's just going to protect it for a lot longer. Turning the area into a shithole that never washes away. I've heard of people leaving a bag at the start of a trail so they don't have to carry it with them the whole time, which is where I thought you were going at first. That's just people being shitty. Driving to work early. I used to do it. But now it's the same as morning rush hour. Edit. For anyone wondering, I'm in Michigan. And I am on the road by 5:45 AM. This is why I drive to work late. I actually do this too. Leave after rush hour and just work a bit later. No one at my work seems to mind. My favorite toilet seat at the beach bathrooms. Yo, favorite stalls are literally the worst when you get there all excited to find drops of piss or it's unflushed. As a local delivery driver, there's certain stops of mine I will not use the bathroom. Then, there's the stops that have super nice clean restrooms that I'll hold it a little longer so I can have a comfortable experience and keep it clean too. Finding one of those utterly destroyed ruins my day. On top of that, Some of those stores have closed restrooms to the public, which sometimes even includes vendors. GPU marketing. The boom of cryptocurrencies ruined it so much that every online shop has been out of stock for several months, raising the price of graphic cards by a lot. I was trying to build a PC 3 months ago and they were so overpriced that I had to spend at least €300 more. Going to the gym at 1 AM. I just wanted the whole place to myself. I too go to a 24-hour gym. Are you telling me that it's actually busy at 1 AM? Every time I go to the gym there's this guy. Calls himself Ego. Always hogs the equipment I want to use and shows off by putting on more weight than I can properly lift. I've tried going on different times, but he's always there, hitting on women and being just obnoxious. The gym just ain't big enough for the two of us. I can't go to the best barbecue joint in the country, which is around the corner from me, because it's gotten too much press and is now a tourist destination. Line out the door, wrapping around the building at lunch, especially on weekends. Even Obama went there when he was on the campaign trail. And it's in a damn gas station. Anyways, it isn't really the best in town anymore, so duck em. Edit. Yes. My cowtown dudes. It is what you think it is. Also, Arthur Bryant's is average. Fight me. And I don't want to get it takeout. I want to be served. Edit MK2. Some of y'all don't get it about Arthur Bryant's. I could throw a rump in a crock pot for 12 hours on low with a jar of abs sauce, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between it and the real thing. And I don't want any big or dadjum takeout from Joe's. I wanna sit and eat. Now quickly. Go delete your comments about the great places that haven't yet been ruined by the slavering attention of Anthony Bourdain and his ilk. Oklahoma Joe's? Formerly. But yes. This one little neighborhood restaurant my wife and I used to like to go to. It had great food, great service, and a quaint, relaxing ambience. Then it appeared on diners, drive-ins, and dives with Guy Fieri. And now the place is always busy and the service sucks and the food isn't as good anymore. Once a restaurant enters Flavortown, they are never the same again. I used to go to the bakery on Cakebot about once a week with my girlfriend. We would grab like a cupcake or brownie or a pastry or something and split it. At first I thought it was cool that they were making a TV show about it. By the end of the first season, there was a 2-hour line to get in. We hardly ever went back. Maybe if we walked by at an off time and the line was super short we would go in. But it just got too crazy. Adblock. Now every website has a warning. It used to be a rare site. uBlock Origin. Go into the settings and enable anti-ad block. Edit. Firefox download. Chrome download. Go into uBlock Origin dashboard. Third-party filters. Turn adblock warning removal list filter on. Some sites get around this filter but it seems to be updated frequently enough to where it's not a huge issue and there's lots of other filters you can check out, plus custom ones. Also on most pages you can just right click on whatever turn your ad block off bullshit and set a custom rule yourself. Edit 2. r/plahole to block ads across all devices on your network, even phones and your Nintendo DSi. Also, since Plahole doesn't seem to block ads on YouTube for Android, try this out. I had to wake and move my cat off me so I could get out of bed and type this out for you sick ducks. Hope you're happy with yourselves. Edit 3. Add this filter to adblock as well. Reeks anti-ad block killer thanks you /Scottbud123. Great. Now people are going to use this. Remove ad block. Surprised that nobody has said eBay. There was a time when you could get genuine bargains. Now it's just a less practical version of Amazon. I bought an item recently from eBay that was $15 on eBay but $12 on Amazon. I don't have Prime and couldn't be bothered to try to meet their minimum, so I just paid the extra and bought it on eBay. The item arrived in 2 days in Amazon branded packaging, even with an invoice from Amazon inside. The seller just takes your money and buys the item for you as a gift using his Amazon Prime account. So yes, a less practical version of Amazon. Drop shipping. Completely fine for some vendors, but not for others. Amazon will ban his Prime account if they find out he's using it commercially. I had something similar happen once, but the other way around. I bought one of those beds in a tube on Amazon. It shows up with a Walmart invoice stuck to it. The guy ordered it on Walmart's website for about $20 less than he charged on Amazon and had it shipped directly to me. Taking the back road when driving. Now, they're full of potholes. But because they aren't main roads, they aren't getting fixed. And I have to deal with double traffic. Edit. I'm not saying cars cause potholes, but that due to the uprise in traffic it's harder to swerve around them, and my commute is just as long as waiting at a more paved road with stoplights. Also, didn't expect this comment to get so many upvotes. Or dongs. Be like that town years ago where some dude spray painted giant dongs around all the big potholes and voila, they were fixed overnight. Edit. WonksybrothFeverge.com link. I literally just googled city pothole cover penis. Ah, Wonksy. What a genius. Emotional support animals. I know people love their dogs, but not all people love dogs. I love my dogs. And they do provide me with a ton of emotional support. That being said, I don't have such severe social anxiety I need their support to leave the house. I don't have night terrors or PTSD so severe that I can't leave her behind for a week while I go on vacation. I'm not so depressed that the calming and inspiring presence of my animals is what helps me get out of bed every morning. Emotional support animals are true heroes in some people's lives. But it's becoming more and more difficult for them to do their jobs. The more people take advantage of the gray area these animals fall into when it comes to service animals just so their furry friend can go everywhere with them, they create obstacles for the people who truly need the help of an animal for a debilitating emotional situation. Moving to LA to make it in Hollywood. The most attractive people from every high school in every town were told they should be actors. Market is so saturated with young attractive talent that odds are your waitress has a pretty lengthy IMDb page and some serious college debt. Don't get me wrong. The beauty of this city and of the industry is that sometimes here the American dream is real and anybody can be the success story. But it's definitely not helping traffic, parking, or rent prices. Hasn't that always been the case though? That's part of Hollywood's legend. It's basically what the 1939 novel The Day of the Locust is about. It's a pretty dark book. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for 3 videos a day.